Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Let's dive right in. The rain was coming down in sheets. The old woman looked out the window, her eyes cloudy with unshed tears. She lived in a small house that was always filled with the scent of fresh bread, even though she rarely ate it herself. Her hands, wrinkled like ancient parchment, clutched a worn photo of a young girl. The girl in the picture had eyes as bright as stars and a smile that could light up the darkest room. As the years went by, the mother scraped together every penny she could find, working extra shifts at the bakery where she kneaded dough all day long. Her dream was to send her daughter to college, to give her a life that she herself never had. She wanted her to become a doctor and travel the world. She imagined her daughter in a white coat, a stethoscope around her neck, walking into a bright future. But as the daughter grew older, she started spending more time at the mall than at home, more time with friends than with her mother. It hurt the old woman deeply, but she understood. One day, her daughter would leave this small town and become someone important. But what neither the mother nor anyone else could have predicted was the twist of fate that awaited them, a secret that would shatter their lives and change everything forever. Meanwhile, in a luxurious mansion on the outskirts of town, a young woman was getting ready for her wedding. She was beautiful, elegant, and her laughter echoed through the grand halls like music. Her name was Elena, and as she slipped on the expensive veil, her reflection stared back at her, a stranger almost. In her eyes there was no trace of the little girl who used to dream of becoming a doctor, no sign of the bond she once shared with her mother. Elena had found love, but not in a way her mother had envisioned. She was marrying Carlos, the son of one of the wealthiest families in the city. Their wedding was a lavish affair, a fusion of two worlds, the old money of the Sanchez family and the new money of Elena's own. Amidst the grandeur, Elena couldn't shake off a feeling of guilt, a tiny voice at the back of her head whispering about the sacrifices her mother had made. But the voice was drowned out by the clinking of champagne glasses and the soft strains of the wedding march. She pushed the feeling away, choosing instead to focus on the future that lay ahead of her, a future that was comfortable and secure. After the wedding, Elena and Carlos moved into the Sanchez family mansion. Elena's mother didn't attend the wedding, and Elena didn't bother to explain why. She just sent a wedding gift. The old woman saw the wedding gift and smiled sadly. She knew what her daughter was capable of, but she still hoped that someday she would return, that someday they would share a tender moment together again. But Elena never came back. Years passed. The old woman grew older, her hair turning from silver to gold. She continued working at the bakery, finding solace in the familiar routine and the warmth of the oven. The dream of her daughter becoming a doctor faded into a distant memory. But the love in her heart never did. She saved every penny, hoping to buy her daughter a nice house near her own so they could spend their remaining days together. One day, the old woman felt a sharp pain in her chest. She knew what it was, a heart attack. She had been expecting it for some time now. As she lay on her hospital bed, she was more concerned about her daughter than for herself. Would Elena come to see her? Would she fulfill her promise to take care of her mother? Or would she let her die alone in that cold, sterile hospital room? When the doctor came in, he gave her the news that she had been dreading. There was nothing more he could do. The old woman closed her eyes, tears streaming down her face. She wasn't afraid of death. She was afraid of dying alone, of being forgotten by the only person she had loved more than herself. As if sensing her mother's sadness, Elena suddenly appeared at the hospital. The reunion was bittersweet. The old woman's heart swelled with love, but she also knew that her time was running out. Despite the guilt that had been gnawing at her, Elena had come. That was all that mattered. In the quiet of the night, when Elena was sitting by her mother's bedside, the old woman opened her eyes. With a last surge of strength, she whispered to Elena, "Promise me something." Elena's voice shook as she replied, "Anything, Mom. Just get well soon." The old woman smiled, a sad, wistful smile. "Will you sing me the lullaby?" The request was unexpected. The lullaby was a song that they used to sing together when the old woman was just a young mother and Elena a hungry infant. It was a song about hope, a song about dreaming of better days. They had sung it countless times, each note echoing the love that bound them together. "I want to hear you sing it one last time," the old woman whispered, her voice hoarse with emotion. Elena hesitated. All those years ago, she had stopped wanting to be reminded of their poverty, of the hunger that had gnawed at them, of the hand-me-down clothes and the worn-out shoes. But seeing her mother lying there so weak and vulnerable, she knew that she had to do this for her. And so Elena began to sing, her voice trembling at first, then gaining strength. The lullaby filled the room, weaving its magic, taking them both back in time to simpler days. The old woman closed her eyes, tears streaming down her face. It wasn't just the song that she was hearing. It was the love in the song, the love that had sustained her through the years, the love that had kept her going. As the first rays of sunlight peeked through the curtains, the old woman's breathing became slower and more shallow. Her grip on Elena's hand tightened, then relaxed, and with a final sigh, she was gone. Elena stayed by her side, holding her mother's hand, letting the silence speak the words that she couldn't. When the sun was high in the sky, Elena left the hospital, her face pale, her eyes red-rimmed. She walked slowly, as if in a dream, the lullaby still echoing in her ears. Suddenly, she stopped. She remembered the house her mother had saved for her, the house with the garden full of roses. She hadn't even bothered to check on it, much less move in. With newfound determination, Elena walked toward the house. As she opened the door, a wave of memories hit her. It smelled like fresh bread and roses. It felt like a piece of her mother's heart had been left behind here. In the living room, she found an envelope addressed to her. Inside was a letter, her mother's handwriting. "My dearest Elena, if you're reading this letter, I am probably gone. I won't ask you for forgiveness for anything I might have done or said. We all make mistakes. I just want you to know that I loved you more than anything in the world. I hope you have a wonderful life with Carlos. He seems like a good man. Take care of him. And please, whenever you feel sad or lonely, remember the lullaby. It's not just a song. It's our song. It's the song of our love. Always remember, you are my sunshine. And even if we are apart, my love for you will always be with you." Tears streamed down Elena's face as she read the letter. The lullaby echoed in her heart. She finally understood that the greatest wealth wasn't measured in money or possessions, but in love, in the shared moments, in the songs that bound a mother and daughter together. As the sun set, casting long shadows across the room, Elena made a decision. She would honor her mother's memory by cherishing the things that truly mattered. She called Carlos, her voice trembling. "We need to talk," she whispered. The old woman's house was filled with the aroma of fresh bread and roses, a testament to the love that had filled those walls. The lullaby was no longer a song of longing, but a song of remembrance, a song of a bond that death itself could not break. And in the silence of that old house, Elena found her mother again, not in the grave, but in the garden, amidst the roses, beneath the warm sun.